Peace, folks. This is X from Tpot Media. Open your mind and wake your black asses up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley. Let's go, Negroes. I'm here. Yeah, let's do it. What's good, brother Bernard?
There it is. We got the intro live and direct coming from X. We've been plotting on doing that for a minute. I liked it. I know X, when you listen to me, you know the voice you hear on the intro is Xavier from the Prophet of Thought series. Got him in the building for a one-on-one. Yeah, I see that crazy thumbnail, so y'all know it's going down. He got a lot to say about that. But so without further ado, gotta formally introduce the brother Xavier to the show. What's going on?
What's good? What's good, brother Bernard? What's good, everybody out there? What's going on? Kind of early. I'm still sipping on my coffee, so you know the voice may not be 100, but it'll make its way there eventually.
Right on. One thing we got going on that we're gonna try to work around for the time being. There's a slight delay between me and X, but he do more or less got basically a presentation. So he'll be monologuing and riffing, and I'll just be jumping in here and there. So hopefully the delay problem does not become a major problem. That happens with StreamYards. I've been being told for almost a year now I got to get Zoom, but I had Zoom for a second and it was a little confusing. StreamYards is easy. Just every now and then you get stuff like this happening, but normally StreamYards treats me well. But we got X in here now. What prompted you? Because the title and topic. Well, hold on. Well, let me back up, because before we even get into the topic, one question I always ask people, and it's funny, I never asked you this question. At least I don't think. I got this question from O'Shea. How in the world did you even get involved in all this whole Black Manosphere, this whole space, with all these ignorant Negroes running around here? How you even get entangled up with all this, man?
Well, what a lot of people don't know about me, brother Bernard, and you may not know this either. I've been around these guys for a while, man. I mean, people started noticing me, you know, here lately with the debates, because debates, you know, are somewhat popular and people like them. But I mean, I've been around even when you talk about the big three. I mean, those guys helped me build my channel, like Brother Valdez, the Angry Man, Brother Obsidian, ODJ. Those brothers helped me build my channel. Brothers like Jap, Black Ram, you know, people like that. They helped me build my channel. I've been around these guys for like 6 years. All right. I mean, I interviewed these guys back when I had my radio show, because I used to be in radio 7 years back. I was actually into radio, and I had people like Obsidian on my radio show. I had people like Angry Man on my radio show. So I've been around Manosphere guys, man, for years. I've been around them for years. I ain't new.
Right.
I ain't new.
Yeah.
I've been around this shit for a long time.
Yeah. Would you say how long would you say, if you had to put a number on it? You've probably been around, because I noticed like Black Ram been around for like 8 years, you know. How long would you say you've been around, lurking around, you say?
I've been lurking for at least six years.
Right.
At least.
Yeah, no. I know my history of it ever since I first stumbled into this space. I mean, I can't look back at a time when you wasn't around. So yeah, I knew you had been around for a while when I was first getting into Obsidian. I found some old stuff with some older material with you and him. Well, I don't think it was that old. I think it was yeah, I don't know. It might have. I think you.
2016.
No, you know what? No, I know that's before my time. I was like early, no,
Oh,
like
okay.
late 2017. Late 2017 is around the
Oh,
time
okay.
frame, the area. I mean, I probably did find something old with the two of you, but no, you definitely been here for a while. Definitely been killing it with the debates, and as I always say, you bringing something that's needed and necessary in this space. Some structure. So we gotta salute
I tried.
X for that. You do. They still go over there and flip tables over and trash the place, but you know you
Yep.
try to
Yep. Yep.
you
I
try to you
tried,
try
man.
to keep some structure. Yeah,
Well, you know
shout
what
out.
it is, brother.
Yeah.
You know what it is, brother Bernard. What I do is because everybody know, TPOT is like Switzerland, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can come there and debate and talk their politics, good, bad, or indifferent. I've always tried to be a place where everybody's pretty much welcome. I try not to choose sides when it comes to this kind of stuff. Everybody's pretty much welcome. Now, don't get me wrong. There's people on here that I don't want shit to do with. But
Right.
outside of that, I mean, there's not too many people in this space that have not been on my show. You would have to think really hard to find somebody who has not been on my show. Because I have people on my show that aren't even in this space. So
Right.
I mean, that's what I've always tried to be. More so, within the last year or so. But we about to change some things around over there. I've been working with my production team, and we're gonna change some things around at TPOT, man. Because every year I change it up a little bit. Every year about this time, when my workload slows down a little bit, I kind of pivot. That's how these debates came about. These debates were a pivot from what I was doing last year. So, like I said, I'm not working as much. I'm only working about 3-4 days a week now. So, I have enough time to kind of, invest in it and, do some other things and reach out to some other people. So
Now you
y'all gonna see
working.
a few changes. We're still gonna be doing the debates. If you want to request one, everybody's still welcome. But we're gonna be doing something new now. We're gonna be doing some challenges.
Ah, when you say you
Go ahead.
working 3-4 days a week now, is that just a factor of you being the boss over there, and you got people that work for you? You're sitting back making the money, just making sure the books and the paperwork and everything right. You don't got to be physically there working. Is that just a factor of that when you say you only working 3-4 days a week?
Yeah, that, and because 60 to 70% of my work is seasonal. I mean,
Oh yeah, that's right.
I mean,
That's right. That's right.
I'm sun up to sundown, spring and summer. But once it gets to be fall, it kind of slows down because my work relies on other guys, construction guys, landscaping guys, guys who work in those fields. Those are the guys that I work for. I work for guys who have those kind of businesses. When they working a lot, I'm working a lot. When their season slows down, mine slows down. So it's kind of like uh, it's a one hand washes the other kind of thing. So as it gets colder, brothers aren't doing as much construction, they're not doing as much landscaping and landscape architecture and all that kind of stuff. So they don't need me as much. So during the winter months, I'm mostly doing maintenance. I mean, of course, we still work, but I mean, primarily we're doing maintenance for like from now to say the end of February. Most of the work we'll be doing will be maintenance. Of course, we'll still be doing welding and fabrication and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, most maintenance for the most part. It ramps up. That's when we'll full tilt again. We slow down in November.
Right on, right on. And real quick, before we get into the topic, let me shout out those that make it in bright and early. The Early Bird Squad, Darth Low IQ in the building. Says, what up, fam? Let me pull up the YouTube feed and like and hit the damn like button my damn self. Oh, and by the way, I be trying to go halfway clean over here, even though I just cussed, but I don't think that one will get me. But yeah, I'm trying to go clean. So when you get to talking about them old mamas, try to
yeah,
keep
I
it
get it.
clean. Try to
I've been
yeah,
trying
try
to do
to
the same thing. I've been trying to do
yep,
the
yeah,
same thing.
everybody's been working on that. Been working on
I
that as
will,
of
man.
late.
I'm gonna act
Yeah.
like I'm in my
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
that's
act like I'm in my grandfather's church, man. I'm trying to conduct myself like I'm in grandfather's church.
all right, cool. But shout out to everybody who made it in early. Hit that like button, which I haven't even done yet myself. There we go. 53 people in here, 28 people on the likes. We should have more likes because if it's only 53 people in here, I know that's the people that actually rock with me. So all of y'all should be hitting that like button. Shout out to Mr. Palmer. Always
Hit
love
that
when that brother
damn
comes through.
like button.
Say that again. Oh yeah, he said hit that like button. Yeah, I was actually trying to get you and Mr. Palmer. I gotta do a collab, you and Mr. Palmer, because he be talking about those baby mama terrorists. You be talking about them old mamas. So yeah, I got a lot of commonality with them when both what both of y'all talk about. But so yeah, that would definitely
Do it,
be
folks.
a fire collaboration. The two of you
Coffee
get
cup
together.
down.
Yeah. Sosa in the building. He says, "What up, Bernard and Xavier, SKC, Mr. Production Team of the Manosphere." Shout out to SKC. Mr. Shane Vicious in the building says, "Being a son husband is worse than being a simp." Yeah, I'd have to agree. Happy Sunday, Bernard and chat. I think today's gonna be a good day. Yeah, I haven't been.
Wow.
What's that? Oh, that delay is killing us. What's going on, X? Yeah, that delay is killing us. I think X is borging in and out or can't hear me or something going on. We're going to try to get that figured out by the day. Said casual Sundays. Hey, this is how I dress in real life. I'm either in a V-neck, a button up, or, or I might, be all the way sharp like I normally am with a, suit, jacket, blazer, sports coat, a full blown, every now and then you got to rock a full blown suit. So there it is. You know how I get down. He said, this should be a good one. Shout out to TPOT. Shout out to Counselor Murray. So thank you for coming on through. Thank you, everybody who hit the like button so far. We got 55 people in here, 37 on the likes. Counselor Murray just came through with a super chat. And without further ado, we got to get to the main.
My end.
What'd you say? X, are you there? Uh-oh. I'm going to remove, I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm going to remove you from the studio and see if you can perhaps come back on a different computer or something. We can see what's going on. All right, I just removed X from the studio. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what's going on, but we do got to get that figured out. My camera is crooked as hell today. My camera is all crooked as hell. So that's something that might have to get fixed. I don't know if that bothers you, but it bothers me. It's slightly annoying to me. But we're going to see if we can get X back in here because I do want this show to flow properly. The last time I had this problem, it don't happen that much. It was probably roughly a month ago when I had Black Torch on and we were talking about Barack Obama. What did Barack Obama do for black people? That was a day with Silent Lamont said I was dressed like Jadena. And that day I had, had on the suit jacket, the vest, the tie, had the whole little hookup on that day. Had on the 7-piece suit that day. I was killing it. But but yeah, we had technical difficulties galore. That day. It was bad because me and him were out of sync the whole day. So I just kind of had to let it turn into a monologue. Then eventually, hour and a half into the show, he got it right. And then once he got it right, I think he had to just log out and get on a different computer in a different place. He had to go to a different planet. I don't know what he had to do, but ultimately he got it right. We got it right. And then the show went on as normal. So hopefully we can get something like that going on. What's up, Black Caesar? He said, long live Chief. Hey, I like his style, man. He's sitting there dressed just all, I think the word is, actually, I heard a woman who was not from the States use this word the first time I heard somebody just casually use it in a sentence. She said he was dressed very debonair. That's not a word that I use, but she said debonair. He was dressed very debonair, but was, rapping, some regular hip hop, it was so it's just a cool look. I do like Jadena. He got a certain style to him. Got a certain style to him that works. It was something else that I was about to just bring up while we wait for X. I had a topic right on my mind, but then when Clue said long live the Chief, it threw me off. Now I can't even talk about what I was trying to talk about when I was trying to talk about it. But we look like we got X coming back on in here. Let's see if we can get some better in syncness. Let's see. X, what's going on? Are you there?
In syncness. I'm back, man. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool. We might. Well, I think we might still. Yeah. We still on a delay. So what we're gonna do to work around this delay is I'm just about to pass the mic to you and just let you go ahead and just do a monologue and go in on these old mamas. Yeah, we still. It sounds like we still in a delay, but the way, like I was saying, the way we're gonna work around it, if you can hear me, I'm gonna pass the mic to you. I'm gonna let you first set up what the Oedipus Complex is, and then just go from there and just riff and just go. I don't care, monologue as long as you need the monologue, because if we got a delay, a back and forth conversation will be difficult. So I'll just let you just go ahead and just go. You get to talk about them old mamas. You can go in forever on that. So I just let you go ahead and go. You got the flow. You got the mic. Just take it away.
All right. I appreciate that, Brother Bernard. I know y'all folks know me. Most of y'all out there, y'all know who I am. And y'all know I talk about these old mamas quite a bit because I think that they have a
go ahead.
Detrimental effect. Not in all cases, but in many cases, I think they have a detrimental effect on Black men and ultimately on Black society in a whole. I'll get to that. Y'all may have some questions down the road, but everybody's familiar with the Oedipus Complex, or should I say the Oedipus Story. Now, I'm going to give y'all a quick shorthand version of what the Oedipus Story is. Oedipus was a kid who was born to someone named Laius, right? And Laius was told by an oracle / prophet that he would have a son, and the son would grow up to kill him and marry his wife. So when Oedipus was born, he had his wife. He wanted his wife to kill Oedipus, but she couldn't do it. So what she did is she took the baby and gave the baby to a servant for the servant to kill. The servant did not kill the baby either. She left the baby in the field, a mountaintop somewhere, and he was discovered by some shepherds who raised Oedipus on his own, right? As his son, as his heir. Now, During that time that Oedipus was growing up, Oedipus was told by another oracle the same thing, that he would kill his father and marry his mother. Now, Oedipus believed that the people who were raising him were his mother and father. So he left. He left where they were, and he went off and made his way to Thebes to keep the oracle from manifesting, right? Right? He ran into a man. They had chariots, and they argued about whose chariot had the right of way. So this man tried to hit Oedipus with his scepter. So him and Oedipus got into a fight. Oedipus snatched him off the chariot and killed him dead, and killed two of his servants, and one of the servants survived, right? So Oedipus made his way to Thebes. And when he got there, he ran into this mystical being called the Sphinx. I'm pretty sure y'all know what that is. He ran into the Sphinx, and the Sphinx pretty much guarded the city. And he gave Oedipus a riddle to solve. And the riddle was, what being walks on 4 legs, then 2 legs, then 3 legs? And Oedipus knew the answer to the riddle was man, because first we crawl on 4s, then we walk on 2, then we walk on 3s when we're walking with a cane. So the Sphinx, for Oedipus, he was offered kingship, and he was able to marry the cousin her husband killed. Now, her husband was Laius, the king of Thebes. But Oedipus didn't know it at the time that the woman he was marrying was his mother. He had no idea. In fact, when he became king, he actually was on a search for the person who had killed the last king, not knowing that it was him who had killed the last king, until he was told by an oracle. An oracle, it was you, king, and that king was your. All of the story, that truth was revealed to the witness, servant, who, and the servant said yes. Not stuck herself. I
You
believe
might have
she
to
hung
back up.
herself,
You might have to
kind
back
of
up a little
frosty,
bit,
or
because you I don't know if you can hear me, but you might have to back up a little bit, because you just was borging real bad for a brief moment there.
Ends of his daughter.
I can't even do a mute.
Is,
oh man, this thing is tripping. Hey X, you might have to back up. You was borging real bad for a moment. I was trying to tell you, I don't even know if you could hear me, but you was borging real bad, and I don't even know if.
brother.
Yeah, we can't hear you. We cannot hear you. It's like you're talking very in and out. Like we're not even hearing solid words. It's like we're hearing syllables. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what is going on, or what can be done to fix this. We're going to try this again. Wait, I've muted him, so he can't say nothing now. Let's see. And even when I mute him, it take a long time for the mute to cycle and go through. Because I just clicked unmute, and now, okay, now it's showing he's unmuted. All right, go ahead and try to say something now, X, because, yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, that was perfect. Yeah, if you could back up roughly a paragraph into what you were saying, then and then that would be great, and you could just start over from there. But now you're back on mute, and I didn't mute you, so I don't know if you muted yourself or if it's just a delay on whenever I click the button. So I don't know what's the deal with that. Yeah, I gotta just not touch that.
It's crazy, man. Because you're bargaining on my end. You're fading in and out. So
yeah, man. It's crazy. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't get it. We may have to figure something out. I hate to have to. I've never had to
moving in slow motion on my end too.
Let me drop my.
All right, how about I do this? Can y'all hear me out there? It's the TPOT corporate takeover of the Grown Man Hour right now, y'all. There's been a corporate takeover of the Grown Man Hour, and TPOT now has the reins. I temporarily sit in the CEO seat of the Grown Man Hour. So what y'all need to do now is take all your coins and start sending them to my man Bernard Riley. Hit that Cash App. Do it quickly. That is in order. Get those likes up, get those super chats up, and go ahead and hit my man Bernard Riley's Cash App. Hit his Cash App now. Do it now. I think yeah, y'all see it on the screen. $ Bernard Riley 99. $ Bernard Riley 99. Go ahead, hit that Cash App. Y'all got money. Y'all got that money. Go ahead and hit my man off. But yeah, back to what I was saying. The irony of the Oedipus story is this, folks. Oedipus was sent away from his biological parents because his father had been told this prophecy, right? That his son would grow up, kill him, marry his wife. So when Oedipus was sent off and he heard the same story from an oracle, he believed that the people that were raising him, he believed them to be his biological parents. So he left in fear of that prophecy coming true. But when he made his way to Thebes, when he made his way there, he ran into this guy and they got into a scuffle and Oedipus killed him, not realizing that he was fulfilling part of the prophecy right then and there. He was fulfilling that prophecy because unbeknownst to Oedipus, that man that he killed was his father. Yep, exactly, brother CJ Rich. He walked right into the prophecy trying to avoid it. He walked right into it and made his way to Thebes, where his mother was the wayward widow. She was the widowed queen. And as a reward to Oedipus for defeating the riddle of the Sphinx, he was offered her as a gift along with the kingship, not knowing that he was marrying his own biological mother. So that is the story of Oedipus. Now that y'all are familiar with the Oedipus tale, and like I said, that's the short version, because there's a lot of other stuff that goes into it, but that is the basic gist of the Oedipus story. And the reason I say that we have an Oedipus complex within Black society is because no matter what, we are bound to our mothers. All right? We are bound to our mothers. And it's almost as if mama can do no wrong. And I believe it's for the simple fact that she had us, along with the fact that most of us, that's all that we have. So if that's all we have, of course we're going to, whether it be for good, for bad, or for indifference, we will cling to that thing. Now, there's a Freudian theory called the Oedipus Complex, and I'm pretty sure you good folks, are smart enough to know what that is. The Oedipus Complex actually is something that develops in a child when they're 3, 4, 5 years old, where the child actually has a certain attraction to the parent of the opposite sex. So it's not just, male child to mama. It also can be female child to male, even though that in Black society, it's more of the former as opposed to the latter. And what the Oedipus complex is, the theory of it is this child has a certain attraction to their mother. And like I said, it usually develops when they're 3, 4, and 5 years old. Now, that's not the problem. The problem is when it's not resolved, right? Because the theory is that many of us go through it, whether you're black, white, blue, brown, purple, come from Mars. It happens with a lot of us. But what often happens is when you have a father in the house, it kind of breaks it. It gets resolved by the time you're 5 or 6 or 7. But if you don't have a father in the house, it has a tendency to never be resolved. And when it's not resolved, what often happens is that child who suffers from that Oedipus complex has a tendency to go out and seek members of the opposite sex that resemble their mothers, have the same ways of their mothers, the same personalities of their mothers. So this brings me back to the original topic, the complex that we have. I think often we as Black men, we get out here because a lot of us suffer from the Oedipus complex. We have a tendency to go out there and look for women who have our mothers. If they don't have our mother's physical traits, they have our mother's mental traits, emotional traits, our mother's attitude, our mother's ideals. And the crazy thing is that many of us, we do it subconsciously, brothers. We don't even know we're doing it. We have no idea that we are doing it. Okay? We have no idea. This is why it goes along with the whole, because I know y'all have heard this before. He want a woman just like his mama. That all plays into it, because see, your mother plays into it, especially if she's telling you this very thing from the time you're a kid to the time you're old enough to start dating or, hanging out with women or pursuing women, if you've been told all your life that you want a woman just like your mother, she has planted that idea in your head, and it's going to be even worse for you if you already suffer from the Oedipus complex, because it will never get resolved. Let me say that again. It will never get resolved. So if the Oedipus complex is never resolved within you, and you have had that seed planted in your head from a small child, you are more than likely, I'm not saying all you brothers will do it, because I know a lot of y'all are smarter than that, but you are more likely to find yourself out there looking for women who are just like your mama. Now, I know y'all listen to this and y'all are like, oh man, X is crazy. But I'm not. Well, at least not in the sense that y'all think. But what you got to understand, brothers, is that if you are a young male child and you're growing up with just your mother, you have no idea, man, what subconscious things are being planted into your brain, brothers. You understand? Do you understand? You have no idea. You have no idea what's being implanted in your brain, man. And you don't have a father there to balance it out, balance you out. You understand? There's no one there like you to teach you to be like a man. There's no one there for that. So that Oedipus complex, you take it out there with you when you go out seeking women, and you don't even realize it. You have no idea what's going on. And your mother is not going to help you. She is not going to help you through this. If anything, she is going to contribute to the complex. You understand? She's going to contribute to it, because many of our mothers she believes that she's doing the right thing by you. She believes that she's raising you right by teaching you how to sit down to take a leak, by teaching you to worship her, by teaching you to think that she is the epitome of womanhood. Do you understand? As you watch her actions, words, as you listen to her lies, she is implanting these ideas in your head, man, and you don't even realize it. Because I say again, there are no male figures to counter these ideas, to counter these nonsensical views of the world. Because let's be clear, man. Let's be clear. Men and women shouldn't think alike. All right? Men and women shouldn't think alike. If you are a person who acts like your mother, you're probably a failure in relationships. You're probably a failure in your job. You're probably a failure in your life. I mean, that's just the bottom line. If you are a person, especially a man, if you're a man and you have all the traits of your mother, you will notice that you are yeah, exactly, brother Clue. She weakens you. She absolutely weakens you. Because see, she has a tendency to teach you to treat women the way you treat her. Because make no mistake, your mother doesn't want your respect. She wants your worship. Therefore, she's ingraining in your mind to worship women the way you worship her, no matter how bad she treats you. I've been on Brother Bernard's before. I told y'all that your old mammy, she will beat you within an inch of your life. She will starve you. She will leave you home by yourself. She'll put her men in front of you. She'll put her shoes, her dresses, her clothes, the club in front of you. And guess what? Throughout all of that, she still wants you to respect her. She still wants you to obey her. She still wants you to think of her as this for. You are being taught to go along with whatever women do to you. Still adore them, even though they treat you like crap. Because make no mistakes, woman you ever have any interaction with, she is the person who is teaching you how to deal with women. But she's teaching you all the wrong stuff, especially if she's a crappy mother. If she's a crappy mother, she's teaching you all of the wrong things. You understand? Now, later on, because I did send Brother Bernard a video, and I hope he plays it. And this video is going to make y'all skin crawl. Yeah, it's going to make your skin crawl. And I'm not going to allude to it at all, but your skin will crawl by the end of the video that I sent Brother Bernard. But this is what I want y'all brothers to understand, man. I want y'all to get away from this whole idea that you owe mama. Because you don't owe mama anything. You don't. Especially if you're an adult. Now, y'all will say, man, X is crazy. What is he talking about? You don't owe your mama for raising you. That's what she was supposed to do. That's what she was supposed to do. She doesn't get this award because she raised you. She had you. What else was she supposed to do except raise you? Now, I've had crazy people write me and say, oh, well, X, you know, your mother could have killed you. She could have aborted you. She could have done all this stuff. Yes, she could have, but she didn't. She didn't. You're walking this planet. That means your mother did not abort you or kill you. So it was her duty to raise you. Because if she wasn't going to raise you, she didn't have no choice but to give you to somebody who would raise you. I often talk about the bad treatment of young men when they're growing up with their mothers. The starving, the beatings, her old boyfriend up in your room at night. I talk of these things. And we are so forgiving as brothers. We're just so forgiving of our old mama. But would we be that forgiving if our father did the same thing? If our father was beating us with anything he could get his hands on, leaving us home, starving us, the women he bring around in our room at night, touching on us and all this kind of nonsense, would we be so forgiving? Our mother can do whatever she wants to us, man, for 10, 12, 14 years of our lives. And no matter what, if we mess around and get rich, we'll buy her a house. We'll buy her a car. But if our father missed one football game, we hate him for 9, we'll never speak to him again. I mean, this is where we are, folks. And we, as black men, we have to break out of this. It's ruining us. It's ruining us. this worship of our mothers, this deification of our mothers is killing us. Everything, most men, everything that they are, it's a direct result of why they were raised a certain way, how they were raised a certain way. I truly believe that many men who find themselves not only dead or in prison or on drugs or doing all this wayward stuff, man, has a lot to do. Say, oh man, you grown now, oh you need to just get over it. See, that's the problem. They keep telling us to just get over it. Just get over it. And I do not believe we should just get over it. I believe we should confront it. It is the only way we can be free as men. Now, people will tell you, oh, you just hate your mother, you just hate black women and all this kind of nonsense. But I believe the opposite. I believe that many brothers can't find their way to hate their mother. I believe that is the problem. Even though she's done things that are very worthy of hate, very worthy of disdain, very worthy of just totally disengaging from her for the rest of your life. And I think that brothers find it hard to do. And that is the conflict. That brothers can't hate their mother, even though she did so many hate-worthy things to them. And I think inside of many brothers, that is the inner conflict. That is the inner turmoil that goes on inside many of us. And I think it ruins many of us because we don't resolve it. We don't resolve it. We don't fix it. We don't.
I don't know if we still out of sync, brother Xavier.
Confront mama.
Yeah, we still out of sync. Let me know when you're ready for me to roll that video.
Yeah, well,
let me know. Because that out of sync problem is still a problem, but I'll roll that video.
Go ahead, roll it. Roll it okay. So the brother's skin can crawl right quick.
All right. All right. Fair use, ladies and gentlemen. Fair use. Fair use.
Prepare for a skin crawling experience, my brother.
Right on. Let me make sure I got the audio and the volume and everything just right. I'm gonna drop back down after the video done rolling. I'm just gonna pass it back to Xavier, because for those who are just making it in, me and him are excruciatingly out of sync, and I don't know why. This happens with StreamYards every now and then. Last time it happened was about a month ago. It's been StreamYards been treating me good, and then when I got my man Xavier on, StreamYards want to just go to acting up again. I don't know. They must don't want him to talk about them old mamas. But what we're about to do, we're about to roll this video, and I'm just going to pass it back to X, and I'm just going to drop on down and let him monologue, because he feeding y'all a nice little Sunday brunch right now. So go ahead and go ahead and get it. And oh, shout out to Darth Low IQ with the super chat. Great Britain.
Damn like button.
Oh, yeah, hit that goddamn like button. See, here I go cussing. And I told the mods not to cuss, but I'm cussing. But hopefully, I'm still working on it. It's a work in progress. But Darth Low IQ, thanks for the super chat. Great Britain, Clue, Ricardo Rodney, I think that was it. And somebody came through on the Cash App I don't want to forget that. Gotta take the time to acknowledge everybody. I don't got my phone on me, so I can't see it, but I do got I'm looking at my email on the monitor right now, and I don't know who this is. I don't want to say nobody's government name. You know who you are. I guess I can just say Lloyd. That's the first name. You know who you are. Ain't nobody gonna find you based off just the first name. But shout out to you. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming through on the Cash App I'm about to roll the not so beautiful bean footage and then pass the mic back to Xavier. Fair use.
Meet woman who married her son. I am marrying my son because I spent money to educate him and I am already pregnant with him. They say wonders they say shall never end, and this just proved to be right as a woman has decided to marry her son whom she is already pregnant with. The woman and her son claim to be in love with each other and they decided to take their relationship to the next level and got married, considering that the mother, Betty Mbereko, from Mwanzi in Masvingo, Zimbabwe, is now 6 months pregnant and expecting her son's child, and her grandchild. Mrs. Mbereko, who is 40 years, has been a widow for the past 12 years and has been living with her 23 years old son Farai Mbereko. She confirmed that she is 6 months pregnant and that she has decided it is better to marry her son because she does not want to marry her late husband's young brothers, whom she says are coveting her. Betty stunned a village court last week when she said the affair with her son had begun 3 years earlier and that after spending a lot of money sending Farai to school following the death of her husband, she felt she had a right to his money and no other woman was entitled to it. Look, I struggled alone to send my son to school and no one helped me. Now you see that my son is working and you accuse me of doing something wrong. Let me enjoy the products of my sweat, she told the village court council. The son, Farai, said he was more than prepared to marry his mother and would pay off the dowry, lobola, balance his father had left unpaid to his grandparents. According to him, I know my father died before he finished paying the bride price and I am prepared to pay it off. It is better to publicize what is happening because people should know that I am the one who made my mother pregnant. Otherwise they will accuse her of PR0 miscuity.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, there it is. I'm trying to, I can't even get rid of the video. There it, right there. Okay. All right. Now, you know, you threw up in your mouth, everybody. Real quick before I pass it back to Brother Xavier, Wayman Brown in the building. He says, this is making me, I didn't even read that super chat, but I said, I know you threw up in your mouth. And just the first super chat I saw was somebody talking about throwing up in their mouth. So go figure that one out. Yeah. Shout out to Mr. Shane Bridges, who posted Whiskey Tango Foxtrot in the chat. Thank you for not cussing. I think everybody's smart enough to figure out what Whiskey Tango Foxtrot means in this situation. Yeah, I'm about to pass it back on down to Brother Xavier. Fair use on that video. Hopefully I don't get struck down. I was a little nervous to play it after Ramil told me how they came and got him on some little simple stuff, but that's YouTube for you. But man, Brother X, you got the floor, you got the mic, it's all you.
All right. Yeah, I told y'all it was going to make your skin crawl. I warned you. I warned you. But this is, now I know what we just saw here was somewhat extreme. That's an extreme case that we just witnessed. All right, a very extreme case. I've had this video for a while. If y'all go back and y'all look in my archives, I think it was 2017 when I first, 2017, 2018, when I first did something on this video. I happened to come across, some of my old stuff, going through my computers, and I saw this and I was like, you know what? I think I want to come up on Brother Bernard's, and talk about this, talk about, because in theory, all right, in theory, this is many of us, y'all, because y'all may not believe this because you love your old mammy, but in theory, this is what we have, especially if your mama's single. No man raised you, brothers, with no man. You had no man around you to teach you how to be a man, how to think like a man, act like a man, carry yourself like a man. Therefore, you're a mama's man. You're a husband, as I often say. You're husband, HUSB /son. So she would want nothing more. She would want nothing more than to raise you, you grow up, get rich, take care of her. Something that she couldn't get a man to do. Something that she couldn't get your father to do. So what she will do, Brother Darth said, don't throw up in your mouth. Let it out. Let me stop paying attention to the chat because y'all are wild. But what she will do is sort of kind of indoctrinate you, groom you into the husband role. And I know many of you, especially you brothers out there who are successful and make good money, and you might have came from nothing. You might have grew up poor. You might have grew up coming from meager means. You might have grown up that way. Many of us did. And you got out of the ghetto, and you studied hard, you worked hard, you became an entrepreneur, you became a tech guy, you became an investor, you became you became a NFL player, you've done whatever, you brothers out there. The first woman that comes to you and talks about your money is who? Who's the first woman to come to you and talk about what you need to do with your money? And usually what she wants you to do is take care of her. Think about it. Think about it. Those of you brothers out there who make good money and make a good living and are successful, who was the first woman to come to you and say, you need to take care of me? Who was the first woman to tell you what you need to do with your newly found cash, your newly found success? Who? Now, I know it ain't everybody. I know it ain't every brother out there. But you trying to tell me that it's none of us? It's none of us out there? And even if you something, who's the first person to say, well, I took care of you. I raised you. I carried you for 8-9 months. Who's that person? You to grow up, get rich, get successful, and take care of her. Even if she treated you like crap when you were a kid. You were raised by your grandmother, but let you get out there and get some success. Let you get out there and make some money. Old mama will make her way right back into your life. Claim you owe her. I believe a lot of these mothers in reality, they don't even want you, the family. Especially if you're making good money and you're successful and you're doing more than the man she decided to have you with did. You think she wants you to get out there and share those riches with the next woman and not her? Y'all just saw this skin crawling video. This woman says she married her son because she said that she sent him to school, got him educated. He's making good money. So guess what? She wasn't going to let another woman have that money. Yeah, she wasn't going to let another woman get her hands on that money. Absolutely not. But that's one son. Got pregnant with his baby. You trying to tell me this kid ain't going to be confused as all be get out? Not only is the child her child, the child is also her grandchild. And for the brother, not only is the child his child, the child is also his brother. Let that swirl around in your head. Let me say it one more time. So it can swirl a little faster. Not only also going to be her grandchild at the same time. And in his case, not only is it going to be his child, it's also going to be his brother or sister. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? And if you want to get even deeper, technically, the child would also be his pseudo nephew or niece as well. Technically, because it's her grandchild. She's carrying. Crazy, man. Crazy. And y'all believe that this Oedipus stuff doesn't screw us up. Y'all believe that old mama doesn't have a direct effect on your life if she's the only one that raises you. Y'all believe that old mama doesn't have a direct effect on Black society. Do y'all really believe that? Do y'all really believe that? No way y'all could possibly believe that. Brothers, listen to what I'm saying. If you're a man, or should I say if you're a male, let's go back. If you're a male, if you are male, you have to realize, man, that you can never become a man as long as you stay up under your mother. You have to realize that, man. You have to realize it. Many of you know it. Many of you guys, once you got away from your mama, you started to see things different. It was like somebody had took shades off your eyes in the middle of a sunny day. It's like somebody it's like somebody took lead shoes off of your feet once you got away from your mama. You know it's true. And a lot of you never got sucked back into it. Now, I know a lot of you did. Like I said, you went out here, you got successful, you made your money. You know, I see a lot of brothers in here that I know are successful guys. I know y'all got that money. And a lot of y'all got and bought mama a house, bought mama a car, took care of her. Y'all might have even moved into your crib. I don't know. Now, you should not do that. Because I know you're asking yourself, should I have bought mama that? I'm mad at you because you did it. I'm mad at that you did it. I'm mad at the fact of why you did it. You understand? Because a lot of us, we did it because we thought we were obligated to do it. We thought we were obligated to do it for the simple fact that she had us, no matter how bad she treated us. That's the problem. The fact that we feel so obligated to this woman for the simple fact that she gave birth to us. Now, I'm not telling you, I've never told brothers to hate their old mama. I've never said that. I've never said hate your mama. Never. She's your mother. You're supposed to love her. You're supposed to love her. But that's it. You're supposed to love her. Not worship her, not deify her, and not forgive all the things she's done to you. Especially if you've never forgiven your father for the things you think he's done to you. Because mind you, brothers who don't know who their father is, the only idea you have of what was done to you came from who? Came from whom? Especially if you don't know who he is. Especially if he wasn't in your life. Whatever ideas you have about that man came from one person and one person only. This is why I always tell brothers, if your father was not in your life, before you start to hate that man, you grow up, you become an adult, get away from your old mammy. If that man is still alive, go and find that brother. Listen to his story. Let him tell you what happened. And I guarantee you, whatever he tells you will probably be the exact opposite. The exact opposite of what your old mama told you. Now, mind you, I don't think all fathers are perfect. Far from it. Because make no mistake, there are brothers out there who just didn't care about their children. I get that too. But if you, as a kid, was told how bad your father was, how he didn't want you, how he wasn't bothered with you, all this kind of nonsense you've heard, go and talk to that man. Listen to his story. Let him tell you what happened. And see if it lines up with what your old mama says. I bet you it don't. And this is the thing. If, say you were a person you were raised by your father. Say your mama was an old crackhead, drunk, dope addict, whatever, hooker. And you were raised by your father, right? When you grow up and you happen to seek her out, you know what her first line is going to be? Well, I did the best I could. That's going to be her line. Not, I'm sorry for not being in your life. I'm sorry I was a whack mother. I'm sorry, for not being there for you. That's what you're going to hear. But on the other side of that, if you were raised by just your mama and your father wasn't in your life, when you go to find that man and you finally link up with that man and chop it up with that man, one of the first things he's going to say to you, he's going to apologize for not being in your life. He's going to apologize for not being your father. Now, that may not be the case in every scenario, but I'm pretty sure overwhelmingly that's going to be the case. Even if he's an old guy by the time you found him, he's going to apologize for not being there for you, man. Now, that apology may not mean much to you. I get it. But you're going to get that apology for him not being around you, for him not being your father. But your mother will never apologize for anything, man. And this is what I'm talking about. You live with your mother. She beats the crap out of you for every little thing. She treats you like a piece of property, not a person. If you happen to live with her and she got an old boyfriend, she'll always put that boyfriend in front of you. She'll put all of them in front of you. The men she chases is the reason why she leaves you alone. You're a 10-year-old kid, and what are you doing? You're watching your 8-year-old brother, your 6-year-old sister, your 4-year-old brother, and your 2-year-old sister, and you're 10, while she's off to the club, off to the bar, off with her friends. And she'll always tell you, you are the man of the house, which is absurd. You're 10 years old. You're not the man of anything. But this is what she tells you. She has to tell you this. That's how she stymies you into believing that this is normal, that this is right, by telling an 8, 9, 10-year-old boy he's the man of something. You're the man of nothing when you're that age. There is no man of the house. That is the problem. There is no man of the house unless that man is living there. But this is what she tells you, indoctrinating you. Because if she's telling you you're the man of the house, what does that make you? Because she's the woman of the house, no doubt. So if you're the man of the house, what is she basically telling you? She's telling you you're her husband. She's just not saying it. But you're 10. You're 10 years old. You don't know that. You only know what she's taught you. You only know what she's indoctrinated into your mind. It's all you know. This is why I say the things I say. Now everybody says, I'm the resident these old mamas man. And I embrace that. You know why? Because I want you brothers to be free. I want you to be free. I want you to take back what she took from you when you were a child. I want you to take back everything that she said you will not have, you will not be, you cannot do. Because usually she's the one to do it to you. She's the one to tell you won't grow up to be anything. She's the one to tell you you'll never have, you'll never be. She's the one to tell you she's your only friend. Have y'all ever heard that? The only friend you got is your mama. Any of y'all ever heard that? This is what you were told as a child, brothers. Because this is what she wants you to believe. She treats you as if you will never grow up. She treats you as if she will never get old. She has sucked you into that bubble of disillusionment. She sucked you into that bubble of suspension, of disbelief. And a lot of you recognize that once you got away from her. You recognize that this was a bunch of BS. You realize she stunted your growth, man. She stunted your growth mentally. She stunted your growth intellectually. Think back. Those of you brothers who may have had problems in school. How often did your mama sit down and help you with your homework? How often? How often? When you got those letters coming home saying that you had problems reading and problems math, how much attention did she pay to that? How many times did you come into your mama with a report card or something else that was going on at the school? How many? Tell me. I want to know and see what was going on with you. Did she ever meet any of your teachers? Did she ever have any conversation with your principal, guidance counselor? And if you happen to graduate, did she ever sit down with you and talk to you about colleges, universities? Did your mama ever ask you what you wanted to be when you grew up? You usually got that question from somebody else, not from her. Think about those things. Now, this takes me back to what I said earlier. We should just get over it. That's the problem. Many of us don't get over it because we think it's normal to carry this around. We think it's normal to just have this inside of us. Because we've been told that it's normal. We've been indoctrinated to believe it's normal. This is all part of being a kid. Your mom not giving a damn about you, not helping you with your homework, beating you within an inch of your life, barely feeding you, barely housing you. It's all normal, right? It's all normal. It's all part of growing up black. Newsflash, man. This ain't normal. This ain't normal. Why do you think only 20% of black children are reading at a grade level by the time they're in the 4th grade? Only 20% of black children are doing math at grade level by the 4th grade. What about that other 80%? That other 80% that can't read, write, count. Why do you think that is? Now, of course, many of those kids, and I would bet a big percentage of that 80%, many of those kids, they were around their old mama 4-5 years before they even got anywhere near schoolhouse. And like I always say, Y'all know what I'm gonna say next. She wasn't teaching you how to read, how to write, how to count, colors, ABCs. She wasn't teaching you none of that. In those 4-5 years that you was around her, she wasn't yellow and green. She wasn't teaching you that, right? She wasn't teaching you how to count to 10, 20, 30, 40, 100. She wasn't teaching you how to read, right? She wasn't teaching you how to hold a pencil. She wasn't teaching you how to tell time, right? Look at some of these kids now. Pull up some of these videos on social media. These kids are 3, 4, 5. Boy, they can cuss like a sailor. They can use profanity with precision, as I say. Profanity with precision. But I bet you they can't write their name. I bet you they can't count to 20. I bet you they don't know their ABCs. I bet you they don't know colors. But boy, they can sure cuss you out though, right? Where are they learning that from? Now, people will say, oh, they're learning it from TV. But who's giving you access to the TV, man, when you're 4 years old? Who's buying the TV? Oh, he's going into Best Buy and buying it? Who's giving you access to all this crap to you? She's still not off the hook. You walk into these houses, man, and you see 60-inch TVs, and Xboxes, and see one book that she points to. This is bad. And also screwed up. You can't tell me, man, that this doesn't matter. You can't tell me that this isn't real. And I know it's a lot of y'all right here, man, in this chat room, man, sitting to the left of my avatar. Y'all went through this, man. And those of you who didn't go through it, you know somebody that went through it. You grew up with somebody that went through it. You know somebody that's going through it right now. You know kids that are suffering through this right now. Especially young boys. This isn't made up. This isn't something that X just talks about all the time, man. This is real. I know because I saw kids that went through it. I see kids that's going through it right now. Y'all ever be somewhere, man, and y'all see these little kids, man, and you look at them and they 3 and they 4 and they 5 years old, man, and they running up and down the street. Not an adult in sight. They in the road. They're running across the street. It's almost as if no one's around. Those are the kids that are going through it, man. Those are the kids who they're not really being parented. They're being owned. Then their old mama come out the door and yell for them. They're a block away. They 4 years old, 5 years old. They're a block away. She's yelling for them. You trying to tell me a parent like that is helping kids with homework? You trying to tell me a parent like that is teaching kids how to read, write, count? That's what you're trying to tell me? Come on, man. Come on. At some point, man, we got to call this for what it is, man. You know? Children aren't property, man. Like my man, shout out to my man, Big Nate. Big Nate always says some women treat children like accessories, man. They're like earrings. They're like shoes, man. And oftentimes, I think that they treat them less important as their shoes and the earrings and their wigs and their dresses and their red bottom shoes, man. And when you talk about this stuff, especially when you talk about black folks, when you tell these truths, the first thing they say, oh, you're bashing. Oh, you're negative. Since when is the truth negative? Why is the truth always referred to as negative? That doesn't make any sense. If I'm telling you the truth, I'm being negative. Now, if I'm lying to you and telling you you're this great mother while your kids can't read, write, count, no colors, I'm lying to you telling you you're this great mother while your kids walk around with dusty clothes on, head nappy, crusty face, feet hanging out their sneakers. If I'm lying to you, telling you you're this great mother while your kids are starving, you're leaving them home by themselves, I'm being positive. If I'm lying to you, telling you you're this great mother. But if I tell the truth about it, I'm being negative. What sense does that make? Just like it doesn't make any sense for them to tell you to just get over it. Get over being beat to a pulp for 10, 12, 14, 15 years of your life. Get over her old punk ass boyfriends coming to your room at night. Get over her putting everything in front of you. Get over it. Fine. Like I always say, I will take that, Alex, for $1,000. I will take what is get over it. But if all of these brothers are supposed to just get over it, those women out there who brothers is going upside their heads, slapping them silly, swelling their lips, blackening their eyes, just get over it. Now, people are so, oh, that's wrong. Wait a minute. That accused for a decade or more should just get over it. So, being that you were or are being abused, you should just get over it too. You know why? Because when you were 6 and 7 years old and getting beat, you had no choice but to deal with it. You couldn't leave. You couldn't jump in your car and just leave. You couldn't do it. You had to endure it. You had to endure something that you probably didn't even understand. As a child, you don't know what's happening to you. But an adult woman doesn't have that problem, does she? She can leave whenever she wants. She can wait for that brother to go to work and jump in her car and be gone. She can go on back to her mama house. She could run to battered woman's shelter. She can do all kinds of crap. But as a child, you can't do that. Can you? You can't just leave. You're 6 years old. Where are you going? What are you doing? You're forced to live with this. You're forced to endure this. And that's all part of the Oedipus crisis. Brothers, you are put into a position where you can't leave, where you can't go, where you can't understand what's going on with you. And all the while this is going on with you, you're being told, I'm your mama. Do as I say, not as I do. I had you. I brought you into this world. I take you out. You're hearing about all this crap while you're in the process of being abused. And some go even more extreme than that. They're telling you you're going to grow up to be this and be that. Right before beating your brains out and not trying to hear you when you come home with your homework. And think about that. Because in all honesty, man, I'm a true believer, man, that some of these women don't even care about these children. They will pretend to care about these children as long as the man they had it by is around. But once he disappears, all hell breaks loose. There's no one to rein her in. Because what you got to understand about this, man. This is what you got to understand. And I'm when you have a father in your life, your father doesn't just protect you from the perv down the road, the boogeyman underneath the bed, and the monster in the closet. He also protects you from the monster that lives in the house. Because those of you who had a father in your life, you probably didn't endure much of the stuff that I talk about. You probably didn't endure the beatings. You probably didn't endure the abuse. You probably didn't endure people creeping in your room at night, touching on you. You probably didn't endure that if you had a father. Because he protected you from that. He protected you from her. And those of you who had a father in your life and then didn't have a father in your life, I bet you mama changed. Once Pop was out of the picture, didn't she? Mama took out her frustrations with when she was cross your head with that boomstick, because you left a sock in the living room. You think she was cross your head because you left that sock there? No. She was cross your head out of frustration. Frustration with your father. Frustration with the other men she had in her life that didn't want her no more. Getting whooped, man, because you spilled some water on the table? Because you came out of the room with the wrong shirt on? You think that was worthy of you being cracked across the head with a racetrack or a handle? No, you weren't getting beat for that. With the things that were and were not going on in her life. And that is the most critical part of this Oedipus crisis that we face. Because as a child, you find yourself suffering through the frustrations out of the decisions that she has made. And you're made to believe. And I'm here to tell you that it's not your fault, brothers. I know a lot of you brothers walk around thinking that the things that happened to you were your fault. They were not. It was the adults who were around you. The adults that were in your circle of influence. It was their fault. And usually it was the fault of the adult that was mostly responsible for you. And that's your old mama. Because let's go back to the story of Oedipus that I talked about before. It was his mother's fault. I believe her name was Jocasta, Jocasta. Y'all can look it up. In essence, it was her fault. Because, see, she thought that she was saving the prophecy from being revealed. Now, she didn't want to kill Oedipus. She gave Oedipus to one of her servants. And the servant didn't want to kill Oedipus. So Oedipus was left on the ground like garbage. But someone else came, raised Oedipus, trained him to be a man. Because of this foretold prophecy by this oracle, Oedipus thought that he would kill the two people that cared for him the most. So he left. He left. But guess what? After he killed his father unknowingly, he came right back to his old hometown. And his own mama didn't even recognize her own son. She didn't even recognize her own son. You tell me. What woman can't recognize her own son? I don't give a damn if she hasn't seen him since she was an infant. Was that connection not there? Did she not feel it with her woman intuition antennas? When he came back into that city, she didn't look at him. She couldn't tell that he looked like her, looked like his father, who he had unknowingly killed. She couldn't tell. Come on. You trying to tell me that if a woman has a child by a man that she was in love with for years and years and years, and that child is sent away, he comes back as a grown man, she won't look at him and be like, hey, he kind of looked like my long-term husband. He kind of looked like my grandfather. Shoot, he kind of looks like me. Now, I don't know how true this is, but they say, you know, the scholarly folks, they say that it might have been possible that Oedipus' mother knew that was Oedipus, which makes this even more skin crawling. But I say that to say this. Brothers, if you are suffering from this condition, if you are suffering from this crisis, I want you to be free of it. Whatever you got to do. And I'm going to tell you what I think helps. What helps is confronting mama. Simply reminding her that you remember. And even if she's dead, go to her grave, sit on the side of your bed, write a poem, write a song, I don't know. You talk to her like she's standing right there. And you know what you do? Tell her you remember. Tell her you forgive her. But tell her you realize that it was wrong. It's the only way you... Now end it there. Brother Bernard is back. And y'all need to go ahead and
slow clap. Slow clap for the sermon today. Slow clap for the sermon today, man. That was definitely deep as usual with Brother X. For those of you that just making it in here, we had technical difficulties. We out of sync with each other. StreamYard does that sometimes, so I decided to just step on back and let Brother X go in and give a monologue, a Sunday sermon, if you will. So let him go ahead and step back. I mean, I step back and let him go ahead and do that. And I don't think we're gonna do a panel or anything today. So we might go ahead and end it right here, because I don't know if you're out of sync with me, probably out of sync with everybody else, and it'll just get weird. So we just gonna let it be a Brother Xavier monologue Sunday sermon. I appreciate everybody who came through here today. Everybody who hit the like button. Everybody, one individual, as far as I know, unless somebody else did, but one individual last I checked who hit the Cash app. I definitely appreciate that. And the several individuals that came through on the super chat end. Everybody else who hit the like button. And even if you just showed up and talked a little trash in the chat, I noticed the chat room is a little cleaner. I got it to where certain words can't be said in the chat, but I think moderators can say whatever they want. So that's why I reminded the moderators to go easy going forward now in the future with the cuss words, because I'm trying to get my channel cleaned up, trying to get it more YouTube friendly, trying to play by the proper YouTube rules. So I appreciate everybody who's playing along with me. Y'all know how to replace the certain words. Ninja. Y'all know how to say ninja instead of the word that we always like to call one another. Some people, I don't know who made up the word peace leave. We know how to replace it. We know how to put that PH in front of the the other word that I'm trying not to say while making this point. So I appreciate y'all playing along with me. Appreciate y'all coming out today when I do these random impromptu Sunday. Well, y'all should be looking for me every Saturday and Sunday. I've been going on every day, even if I just hop on for an hour, 2 hours here and there on a Sunday or Saturday. I normally go on every day. So every day at 9 a.m., make sure y'all looking for me. Y'all know I'll be on CP time as well, but be looking for me around 9 o'clock, around 9 a.m. EST. And once again, I'd like to thank everybody for coming on through here today. And I'm gonna and yeah, by the way, I'll go ahead and say, Aaron B, you timed somebody out because they said salute. Like, come on, man. Y'all gotta be getting, don't use your wrench to solve your personal vendettas, man. We gotta quit doing that. God, that's why on X channel is only so certain individuals, very small, tight-knit group that got wrenches. And we'll just give everybody wrenches like me. Obsidian doing the same thing. I don't want to resort to that. I like a everybody under the tent type of thing, but you Negroes get under the tent and go to clowning. But so yeah, that's that. But that's all I got to say on that. As far as this sermon, look, man, it's X blow me away when he be talking about this. I didn't personally experience it. I know people who did. I said it once. I said it again. My mom was she was wonderful. I had there was other people that I knew and knew of who I can't say the same thing about their mother, but my mom was cool, and that's, I mean, so this one doesn't hit home personally for me, but I know exactly, like many of us do, know exactly what X is talking about. And if somebody got up here, or in most places, somebody did a 1 hour monologue on deadbeat dads in the Black community, nobody would bat an eye. I think the equivalent of the deadbeat dad who jumps up and leave is the unfit mother who she don't jump up and leave, because after all, she is incentivized to keep the kid and keep having more kids. So you gotta incentivize bad parent, incentivize to keep the kid and ruin the parent, and then you versus another parent who up and left. They're both bad. It's bad people on many sides of this thing. So that's one thing that doesn't get looked at. We just look at the evil monster who abandoned a child, and that's just the narrative we go with. Well, what is the person who got the child, incentivized by the government to keep the child and keep having more kids? What is she doing with the child while she's there with the child? Everybody looks at one end of that and they got all kinds of stuff to say, but we just sweep under the rug what's happening on the other end of it with, as X says, those old mamas. So I definitely like when X come in and speaks on that. I said it once, I said it again. The great brother X, or Xavier from the Prophet of Thought series is definitely sitting on a book. I hope he's working on it. I hope he's working on that book. You definitely need to get at least one book out on this topic. So yeah, so so I can't. Yeah, he definitely has a wheelhouse that he gets in when he talks about this, and yeah, he definitely knocks it out the park every time. So so before we get out of here, I'm just going to pass it back to X one more time. I'm going to let him have the final words, the final say. Let him take us home, and then we're going to get up out of here. X, you got any closing thoughts or closing words, anything you want to say to us as we go ahead and wrap this bad boy up? X. Yeah, I can see the out of sync problem. That's why we got to wrap it up.
Other man, I appreciate you, let other, and I wish you all the best up here on this. I'll just say this to the brothers, man. I know that not everybody goes through the stuff that I talk about, and because I didn't go through it, but I knew a lot of people who did. And the reason why I talk about this the way I talk about it is because I kind of hold some guilt for those brothers who were treated the way they were when we were younger, because many of us who weren't going through it, we didn't do anything about it. We didn't try to help them. We didn't say anything. We didn't call the police. We didn't call child welfare, whoever we should have called. We didn't do it. And I guess this is my way, my own selfish way of making amends for things that I saw when I was younger and didn't do anything about, because I just thought it was normal, you know. I thought it was normal, and a lot of people around me, we thought it was normal. I think this is a problem in Black society. I think we keep too many secrets, and I think one of the main secrets that we keep are the secrets of our mothers, and the secrets that fall behind this whole Oedipus thing that exists in Black society. I know a lot of y'all probably disagree uh, with a lot of the things that I say, but even within your disagreement, you know that there's some truth to it, you know. So I just want to say peace, all right, to you brothers, and hopefully you got something from this, and hopefully, just hopefully, you kind of you know, think it through, man, and free yourself from whatever captures you. That is all.
Right on, right on. Peace, and we are out of here.